Namaste everyone and welcome. Thank you again for pressing play and thank you for all your likes and your shares and your messages. Very kind of you. What an amazing week we're having. What an amazing world we live in. As we see chaos, we also see the calm in the storm. I'm just amazed and just in awe of the majesty of our eternal parents and how they just watch us. Every minuscule thing about your life is under divine protection. So we'll get straight into it this week. It's going to seem slow with the energy, but that's good because, you know, we got a lot to think about. We're moving from Aquarius soon into Pisces, and also we've got the Mercury retrograde about to occur. So we're going to cover a few of those aspects today. So we'll start with the astrology for the week. On Monday the 10th, Venus conjunct Chiron. Now remember, we keep saying whenever you hear Chiron, it's to do with your trauma, your childhood wound, which is essentially everyone's biggest problem. This is where your beastie is feasting. So we're going to talk about that today. We're just going to talk about it and put it out there. Venus, the planet of love. Love and your childhood wound, one and the same. This is the crux of the matter, my loves. An opportunity to recognize where the wound to the sense of self-identity, the wound to the sense of self-identity is your core wound. As an empath, that is where your wound sits, okay? Certain people, when they received that trauma, took one or other course of action. We'll talk about that as we go along, but we're evaluating that this week. We get to recognize where the wound, so that childhood trauma, your empathic wound or your narcissistic wound, and how that affects our ability to love ourselves and the capacity to give and receive love in relationships. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but money and love is the same vibration, you see. So your relationship to love and your relationship to money are one and the same things. Can you believe it? I want to read something very, very powerfully beautiful. In sacred union, we grow as one, taking the two and making them one. An illuminated man and an illuminated woman become one. This unlocks the keys. In sacred union, we grow as one. Sometimes one will be more mature in one area than the other. And that is when we encourage growth and we do not tear down or belittle. We compassionately hold space as the other catches up. As twin flames, we share the core wound, meaning there was a childhood trauma that manifested the same wound, but is often handled with polar coping mechanisms. Now, we talk here about twin flame and we talk about sacred union. You may not be in a relationship, so I want you to take this from the perception and the perspective of you and how you love yourself, and also all the other relationships in your life. It could be with your partners, your husband, wife, girlfriends, but also with yourself primarily, your relationship with yourself. Because the type of relationship that you have with yourself will determine the kind of people that you attract to yourself. They're either there to teach you a lesson, there to encourage you. God has everything under control. We have to see this for what it is, okay? We have to attract all kinds of human love, whether that be with friendships, colleagues, siblings. So take this from a perspective of love in general, not just romantic love, okay? And also your relationship to love. While one may turn hard and become hardened and avoidant of love, the other may turn soft and become softer and addicted to love. Yet these two different expressions of the same wound are still rooted in abandonment and fear of being abandoned again. One pushes love away in order to be in control, and the other latches on to love in order to be in control. However, the cure is the same: to let love enter and love deeply. But how can we let love in when we are afraid of love in case it be taken away from us? And how can we let love in and actually keep it without becoming too attached and push it away with fear? We have to learn to see our inner child in ourselves and others. To enter the kingdom of heaven, you have to become like a child. You see? You have to go back and love that child that was traumatized. We have to parent ourselves and the partner when triggered and hurting. How would you treat a child that was afraid? How would you nurture a child that was afraid? How would you make a child feel safe who was afraid? How would you love a child so it felt unconditionally loved? This is how we learn to love ourselves and our partners, friends, siblings, colleagues, everybody. To care for our inner child and theirs, others. We have to see them from the embodiment of the divine parent. To love like God loves is divine. And it is possible with mindfulness, turning the two into one. Not coming at life from fear, coming at life from love, but understanding love is a spectrum disorder. You get lower levels of love, which is jealousy, vengefulness. And then you get to higher levels of love, unconditional love, where you can love deeply, so deeply. But then in the same time, if that person disappeared from your life, that wouldn't change that love. You understand love is freedom. But you have to have that within you, so you have to give yourself that first. You have to it starts with making friends with yourself. The voice in your head that is nothing but loving is the deceiver. Cast it out. Start with yourself. So with mindfulness and also emotional healing, it is possible to get to this place. So the next time you find yourself in a conflict or fight situation with your partner, or anyone, in fact, swallow your pride and the need to be right. It's not a competition. Love, in its highest form, doesn't need to compete. It just is. There's no need to be right. This is assuming both parties understand and are in agreement to grow as one, divine power couples. So be loving, be gentle, be kind. The truth will set you free. Ask them, how can I be there for you right now? How can I show up in this moment for you, my love? Then create a safe space where you guys can discuss your traumas, your fears, your concerns about being abandoned. A safe space without violent communication. Peacefully negotiate a compromise. Navigate through effective communication, which means listening and hearing. Hearing with your ears, you know? Have eyes to see and ears to hear. Hear with your spirit. Hear with that deep connection to this love, the sacred partner that is basically written in the stars. This is how we create sacred union. This is how we heal deep trauma. This is how we truly love deeply. And this is how we are rewarded with the deepest intimacy. Starts with you and your relationship to yourself. Isn't that beautiful? The word love is very interesting. L-O-V-E. The whole vibration of the word love comes to 9. 9 is about completion. 9 is very very Aquarius in nature. We're all coming to the completion of a cycle. The calendar year says January is the first. Well, energetically wise and map of the sky wise, no. We're coming to the end, okay? But the end means we're here to learn the lessons. Aquarius and Pisces season is about the mind of God and the heart of God. Seeing, opening our perspective, seeing the broader picture, learning the lessons. Why did this just happen to me? Why do these things always happen to me? Hopefully through these videos you've stopped looking at everyone else and you've started to look at yourself and the role you play in your life. 9. So 9 is in the English alphabet the letter I. Okay. Your relationship to love. I. Let's look at it. Love. L. Lamet, which is ox goad, like a prod. A prod to express love and creativity. O. Iron, which is the I. The inner spiritual I and the beginning of expanded consciousness. V, which is Vav, which is peg or nail, which is the joining link between the human and the divine. And E, which is window, which reflects one's viewpoint and also the sound of your breath, so your words. Are you speaking loving words? Are you understanding who you are? I am a child of God. I am a daughter of God. Essentially that means I am love. God doesn't judge us. I know people think so. He doesn't have to judge us. Our Holy Mother doesn't have to judge us. Why? Because there are mechanisms in place to deal with wayward children. There's naughty steps. Okay, there's rebellion school. There's a school of hard knocks. Until we get with the program and realize who we are, we'll just get with the flow, get with love, heal our wounds, clear our karmic debts. Heaven on earth, brothers and sisters. Love. Love is the beginning and love is the end. It is how we view life. It is how we determine how we are. Who am I? Our expression, how are we expressing ourselves? Any expression of yourself is a reflection of your relationship to love. Is your love based on fear? Or is your love based on freedom? Starts with you. Isn't it wonderful? What a mysterious world we live in. Okay, the rest of the astrology. Sunday the 16th of February, Mars enters Capricorn until the 30th of March. An opportunity to bring our actions under control through focus and discipline, and learn to overcome a desire for instant gratification in order to achieve more challenging goals that bring us true growth and fulfillment. Think about it. You start seeing through the eyes of love, the divine parent, by divinely parenting yourself, reaching out to others to help you. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be making an effort to be the best you that you can possibly be, which starts with getting rid of everything you're not. So the big exciting thing is Mercury is about to go into retrograde, okay? Through the last 2 seasons for the year, onto the new year, which is Aries season. So we have the retrograde from the 17th of February up until the 10th of March. Now, it's not exact hard lines, it's energy. It affects people differently. Some people are affected beforehand, very sensitive people, other people at the time, other people 1, 2, 3 weeks, other people way later. It just depends on where you are in your process. It's about you. Where are you in your process? So, a few tips about the Mercury retrograde in Pisces/Aquarius, because it starts in Pisces and moves back into Aquarius. So then when it goes direct, it'll have to move through Pisces again. But it goes quickly. So it's a review. It's like, what did we learn? Uh-oh, you missed a few things. Highlighted, boom. Okay, we're ready to begin your new incarnation. This is the pushing through the cocoon stage. Okay, and you're looking at your own wings and going, yeah. That's who I am. It's okay to change. That's the whole purpose of it. Life is a journey. It's not a destination. Some tips on the retrograde. Time to slow down and allow the logical mind to rest where possible, and allow the intuition, your intuition, to guide you. That's the Holy Mother bit. Your intuition, the Shekinah, the Holy Spirit. Okay? The small quiet voice telling you the right thing to do. Time to face any truths we've overlooked. Time to reevaluate the way we perceive situations and seek to expand our awareness to see the bigger picture. Make your circle bigger. It doesn't really have a limit. You're limited. Your circle is limited by your ability to perceive. So if your perception only can stretch to so far, that's the circumference of your circle. In reality, there is no limit. It's limitless. It's just that you are viewing it from the central point where you are at. And you're marvelous. Try to avoid, this is like a technical details. Try to avoid signing contracts until after the retrograde, because it's a time when communication gets a bit dodgy. Okay, delays, technology is a bit dodgy, computers are playing up, emails going missing, text messages going missing, sending the wrong text messages to the wrong people, or the right people actually sometimes. Things like that, mercurial, mischievous, okay, tricky. So when it comes to contracts, of course, that's very important. If you have to sign contracts through the retrograde, by all means. However, check, double check, check, because all the information might not be present at the time. You might not be holding all the information you need to make an informed decision. So if you can hold off, by all means, try to do that. Be very mindful of your words. Your words are very important, as you know. It's not called spelling for nothing. You are speaking things into being. So speak life into being for your life. Don't speak death into being for your life, because at your core you are love. Speak love. Let that be your gift, your fruits that you are giving to the world. Avoid initiating any new projects, but use the period to do wonderful, deep, penetrative research and prepare for when Mercury goes direct, which 10th of March, more about. It's not a hard line. A few sentences just to wrap it up in terms of the retrograde. Mercury retrograde in Pisces, we can think of that as be still and know, and open your heart to the heart of God. Mercury retrograde in Aquarius is be still and open your mind to the mind of God. So the retrograde period that we're about to experience is an opportunity to be still and know that I am God. Your heavenly parents want to heal that trauma so you can walk free. Heaven on earth. The Lord's Prayer. Do we know what it really says? It clearly states, heaven is on earth. You can't help, perhaps, make heaven on earth for the rest of the world, but you can start making heaven on earth for yourself, unselfishly, lovingly, being inspired by the one that knows, given instruction by your eternal mother. Wow. That's the astrology. What a wonderful week we're heading for. Okay. Excuse me. That one was Sacred Union, by the way. We're not playing anymore. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we'll start if we're drawn to do more. Okay, so we start with the king. So the king is about man, male energy, which is knowledge. It's about authority. It's about male sexual energy. So ladies, everybody, it's going to be incoming. You know what I mean? We got that Valentine's Day heading up. And of course, that's a lot of sexual energy. But sexual love, which is beautiful, and in sacred union, it unlocks the keys to heaven. But that having to conquest, oh, I need someone to be with because it's socially acceptable. No, this is the instant gratification we want to avoid. Because once Mercury goes direct, you're going to be like, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? Okay, ladies, gentlemen. Also pertaining to the law, contracts, get them done, get them all sorted before the retrograde, okay? Also, if you've got legal matters outstanding, you know what? Just deal with it. Deal with it. When I say legal matters, it doesn't mean scary things. It's like maybe there's some bills you need to address. Maybe there's some people you need to make calls to. Just get it all done before we start the new year. Just get it all done. And justice. Okay, justice is a big time. It's big right now. Okay. The mechanisms in place to make sure that our heavenly parents don't have to judge us, like the naughty step and you're grounded, or you're having your car took off you, you're having your PlayStation took off you because you're being naughty. It's dealing with that and just taking it on the chin. You know what I mean? Get off the karmic wheel. You have to get off the karmic wheel and stop creating more negativity and more karma for you so that you can, as I like to say, clean the hose pipe, okay, and move forward, creating your heaven on earth. Okay, then we have, again, the wasp. This is going to be huge now. People are going to be let down. They're going to be like, no, no, thank you. Yes, no, thank you. A lot of anger. People have moved on. People have closed cycles in their life and they've moved on. And, some people aren't happy. Some people have leveled up. They've done the work. They've been blessed. Some people don't like to see other people be blessed. That's not loving, you see. Move away from this. Move away from this negativity. And you'll find, as you move into higher vibrations of love, you cannot be around that level of drama. And these things just naturally float away. You have to understand, when you're evolving, ascending is not something that happens when you die. This is a deception. Ascension is what happens while you're alive. That's the point. Okay? This is just a conclusion of this last cycle. Back into, every year you get a chance to just do it again. It's a journey. It's about change and growth. Okay, so the angry energy. All right, so things might happen and you might be angry because it's a time to reevaluate our core wounds. And we're going to feel angry. Things have happened to you and you're feeling, angry with it. That's great. Do not try to just pretend it's not there. Love yourself enough to go, why am I angry? Oh, I'm angry because this and this happened. When did it happen? 5 years ago. So therefore it's no longer real. It's just my memory. The memory of that still annoys me, makes me angry. Okay, why? Well, because that person did me wrong. What did you learn? What did that situation teach me? That's the core of it. I said in one of my first videos, life is a school. It's a very mysterious mystery school. Okay, so if you feel like you want to sting, think about it. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. If the stinger comes towards you, swat it away. It's about increasing and expanding our perception. Are you looking through the eyes of love? Are you? Huh? Well, you won't be if you haven't given yourself that self-love. How are you viewing things? Whatever's happening to you, what are you looking? How are you perceiving it? Your perception is everything. Perception is everything. Creative projects. Okay, so those of us that have started stuff and we have projects, well, this is a time to focus on those projects. Okay, if you're thinking of starting something, again, it's about research around about now, all right? But also, everything, spider, look at the spider. Some people don't like spiders. I like spiders, bless them. Everything that a spider needs is inside of it. It might grow, it might make an amazing web. Someone comes along, whoo, scared of spiders, destroys its web, and it's on the floor. It just scuttles away, goes and finds another place that it fancies, and just begins again. Okay, once its web is spun, its food gets trapped, it can store its food, it can exist nicely. Someone else comes along, whoop, 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 web gone, spider scuttles along, starts again. Starts again. The biggest problem is people are too concerned about what other people think. Well, if you heal your core wound, you really won't care. Okay, the Grail Knight. All right, romance. It's Valentine's week. Romance. and seeking the sacred. So perhaps it's, for those that are single, perhaps it's time to perhaps stop seeking the partner and have that sacred union within yourself, balancing that masculine and feminine. If you're a female, balancing that masculine element. You're the bride. Think of it this way. You are the bride, and your masculine side is the bridegroom. For me, that had to be Jesus. That's me. So I went looking for Jesus. He's my bridegroom. Okay? So romance is on the cards, obviously. Valentine's week. Okay. But also illusion. Yes? People pretending, saying everything they need to say. This is interesting. Women fall in love with what they hear. That's why men lie. Men fall in love with what they see. That's why women wear makeup. Let's see beyond that. Let's see from the spirit. Does your spirit connect with this person? If you don't know who you are, you're trying to find yourself in other people. What a disaster. Seeking the sacred. Don't get called into illusion. Okay, and the dragon, which is about power and strength. Basically, you're saying, whatever's happening to you in your life right now, whatever you're going through, that power and that strength that you need to get through is being given to you by our eternal parents. And we'll have one to close off. We have just have one to close off. That's all right. Thank you. We won't end with this. Okay, things have got to come to an end. But the death... All right, so obviously there's lots of death going on out there. Let's not ignore the elephant in the room. There's a lot of death going on out there. Okay, and so with death comes fear, because people are afraid of what happens when you die. Well, when you die, my darlings, you go back home. This is as bad as it gets, which is very beautiful and light. And you might think, well, I've done horrible bad things. Well, you know what? Figure it out before you die. You'll be good. Okay, so the things that are ending out of your life right now are meant to go, making space. The death we see out in the big wide world, he has everything in his hands. Okay? He has everything in his hands. Oh, okay. All to get to this one. Partnerships. All right, so there will be, all right, that's a whole little reading on its own. All right, we're going to stop there. Okay, so partnerships coming together to do with sacred union. You know why? Because today is the 9th of February. It is the full moon. It's a Leo full moon. Okay, so anyone that was doing any work to do with sacred union or to do with even that union within self, especially the union within self, would have started on the Leo new moon, which would have been, I think, the 1st of August last year. So this is a whole cycle completion to do with sacred union, seeking the sacred and sacred union. Okay, so if you guys are in sacred union partnerships and you have been not talking, one's running, one's pushing, probably a return of that. But let's just be mindful of the fact that the retrograde is coming around, and if you've done your work on your core wound and your partner's done work on their core wound, you've given each other the space away, there's a return round, but let's not be sucked back into illusion, okay? That's not helping anybody. All right, so this death business. All right, movement, death, and deception. So what this is basically saying is, if you have stuff going on that you don't have all the information, you feel that there's been secrets being kept from you, and sort of certain situations ended because there was deceptions and there was manipulations, the wisdom of it is coming. So truth is coming in relative to it, movement in that area. Okay, you don't have to go search for it, it's going to come. And this is also in the big wide world. We're gonna see some things happen, and we're gonna go, is the world really like that? Yes, 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 yes. But you are the light of the world, and you might not think you're much, but wow, you are the universe in a skin. So partnerships, It's all exciting. Okay, my darlings, we're going to finish off with a reading coming from the Gospel of Philip. Love refuses nothing and takes nothing. It is the highest and vastest freedom. All exists through love. Have a beautiful week. Father, bless us. Teach us the truth no matter the cost. Show us the truth no matter the cost. Peace be with you.